quick housekeeping things before we begin. As I said, I have just muted you just to reduce background interruption as the students are presenting. We will have a time to unmute yourselves and then tell the students what you thought of their presentation or ask them some questions, whatever. The second thing is that we don't normally record these sessions, but this is quite an outstanding group, as you will soon see. And so we have asked all of the parents if they are comfortable and give us permission to record, and they have given us that permission. However, as adults, if for some reason you do not want your likeness to be portrayed publicly, please, you can turn off your camera and therefore your anonymity will be protected. But this is not going to CNN. This is at most going to find a little exposure on our social media at best. So just so you know. With all that said, I'm just so excited to have everybody here. My name is Dean Bragonier. I am the founder and executive dyslexic of this organization called NoticeAbility. And that is a double entendre, and that is on purpose. We are all about noticing the ability of students with dyslexia so that we see no disability. Noticeability, no disability. As a person with dyslexia, I was viewed for many years of my life based on what I could not do. Eventually, as I got out of college and I entered the workforce, I realized that my dyslexia had tremendous advantages. And so I started to get recognized finally for what I could do as opposed to what I could not do. Just understanding that slight difference in perspective had a huge impact on how I felt about myself, and as a result, how I could be in the world. So quite simply, what we do during our courses is we introduce dyslexics to what those advantages of dyslexia are, and we contextualize it in those professions where dyslexics are disproportionately successful. That's entrepreneurship, engineering, architecture, and the arts. That's not the only 4 areas that we do well in, but those are the sort of the most overarching professional sort of pathways that we choose. Now, I have had the pleasure of working about 50% of the course with the students who are here. Once I saw that Miss Madison, our volunteer facilitator, was fully capable and was with an outstanding team, I was able to reluctantly pull back from my daily involvement and let this team operate fully autonomously. That happens sometimes, but rarely as quickly and as smoothly as this group did it. Just a little bit about these students, and at some point I will stop talking, I promise you, but a little bit about this team. It's important for me to share my perspective, and then for Mrs. Madison to share her perspective. And if it gets confusing, it's because we, believe it or not, have 2 women named Madison in this group. So it's okay to be confused. The students, Abram is a young man from California. I've had the pleasure of working with his younger sister, who is also dyslexic and also an outstanding individual. Abram is one of these extraordinary dyslexics that has both big picture thinking and a methodical application. He has what we would in the executive, in the educational field would call high executive functioning skills. He can get things lined up, sequential, get them done. And there's something enchanting about the way Abram does it. He does it with this no nonsense, yet very approachable manner. He's more of a team backbone than anything else. He's the guy that you know he's going to show up, you know he's going to say he did what he's supposed to do, and he's going to contribute religiously to every conversation. Fantastic to have him. Miss Madison Jr., the student Madison, is, as you will soon see, sort of like the human equivalent to a solar beam. She is just pure sunshine. This young lady just walks into a room. I've never been in a room with her because we've been under, lockdown. But I would imagine that if she brings this much light to Zoom meetings, I would imagine that she radiates in person like never before. She's not only cheerful and approachable and wonderful to be around, but she's extraordinarily thoughtful and intuitive and bright. She's been a just fantastic to work with. Elizabeth is the type of dyslexic that I see not as often as I'd like. It's a special skill that she brings to every environment. She is the social lubricant of every team. She describes herself as the social butterfly, and that is not rhetorical. She came into a group with 4 students, 1 adult, and this guy. She had never met any of us, and all of a sudden, after 45 minutes, because of Elizabeth, I felt as if I had known this group for a long time. And that was because she has this ability to bring people together. And it's partly because she's so just wonderfully verbal and expressive that you kind of, you automatically, you become relaxed in her presence and less reluctant to watch what you say. She's like this elixir of truth. She's like the Wonder Woman's lasso. There's something about her personality. And then of course, there's Archie. Now I have 2 half brothers who grew up in the United Kingdom. Archie, as you will soon see, is one of our brethren from across the puddle. Archie is an exceptional young man, but one of the most high praise things that I can say is that he is so good-natured. I, for some reason, decided that he was going to be somebody I was going to make fun of because of his British accent, because I know from my brothers who are British that that's what the British do. They just make fun of each other. It's like, that's how they express themselves affectionately. And so I just rolled the dice and I said, this Archie guy, I love his style. He's a suave guy. He's a soccer player. I'm sure he's like, walks into a room and everybody turns their head to pay attention to what Archie's about to say. So I figured I'm going to give it a try, and I'm just going to make this guy, the guy I just target with little just insinuation and innuendos. And he is so graceful. He kind of, I would say, and you guys can agree with me, he's kind of like, behind Elizabeth, he's kind of like this cool, calming force that brings the group together. It's a fascinating dynamic. Anyway, I wound up actually eavesdropping on classes where I wasn't expected to teach because I missed this team. Like I said that to them, guys, I missed you. I had to get on. I got 1,000 things to do, but I wanted to see you and hear your voices. That is in no small part to Miss Madison Sr., our volunteer facilitator from Colorado. Miss Madison is in nursing school. She and Madison, ironically, are appropriately named. They have both these rays of sunshine, these cheerful individuals. Madison is the most astute facilitator, as Katie in the home office can tell you. She is far more responsible than even I am as an instructor. So, Madison, your selflessness and your guidance for this team has been exceptional. So I want to thank you. We try to entice volunteer facilitators, go through a little training. We say, it's a modest commitment. That's not true. It becomes a very substantial 15-hour plus commitment. Madison took it in stride, and she's been wonderful with these kids. What I especially love is that on the first day, she said, I'm so interested in what dyslexia is. I really don't have any idea. Will you all tell me what it's about? And just that receptivity allowed all of us to help educate her. And immediately we trusted her in a way that I knew as an organizational leader, my students were safe, but I think the students recognized very quickly that they were safe with Madison. And that is a testament to you, Miss Madison. So enough from me. What did you think about these young whippersnappers?
Well, Dean, thank you so much for those words, and hello to everyone from Colorado. I am not quite as good as Dean is at saying what I need to say just off the bat, so I've written it down. So I'm going to read to you guys what I have written down, and kind of like Dean did, I'm going to touch on each of the students if that's okay, and I hope it's not too long. I'm kind of worrying now that it's too long, but I'm just really grateful to have known these four, and I want to share my appreciation with you guys. So I want to start off by saying that the dyslexic advantage is real. It's very real. Abram, Archie, Elizabeth, and Madison, you have displayed this advantage in remarkable ways. You joined your ideas together for a common cause and nobly chose to create a product that not only supports the comfort of humans on an individual basis, but one that contributes to the greater good of all people. So before you share your pitch, I want to thank you each while mentioning a couple of the many ways that you each contributed to our meetings. So I'm going to start with Abram. Abram, thank you so much for your stellar focus and your fearless dive into the world of graphic design when you took the time to learn from scratch the tools of 3D simulation. Your 3D model represents the uniqueness and the value of your team's product in such a tangible way and with precise detail. While your team faced many decisions over the past 6 weeks, you were also a voice of negotiation and compromise, allowing every team member to benefit from the decisions you made. So thank you, Abram. Archie, thank you for your boldness in being the first to answer questions about course material and for offering empathy to your peers so well. You listened intently, smiled, and ensured that no one was spoken over or speaking over each other at any point during our meetings. This group would not be the same without your English flair and willingness to share about your lifestyle across the pond. Your outstanding brainstorm of all the potential fields of work and professions that may benefit from your product is so integral to the pitch. So thank you, Archie. Next is Elizabeth. Elizabeth, thank you for your enthusiastic energy and for utilizing material reasoning and narrative reasoning to the full. When initially discussing the appearance of the product, you took it upon yourself to create meticulous sketches showing every feature of your design. You came to our meetings with personal stories prepared to illustrate real-life examples of the struggle that inspired your product's creation. Your compelling, passionate, and humorous stories have convinced us all of the true value and applicability of your products. Thank you, Elizabeth. And Madison, just like Dean said, thank you so much for bringing absolute joy to every meeting and for being a voice of determination and drive to finish this product to completion and to finish it well. I appreciate your courage in analyzing ideas and putting every feature of your product to the test for viability, potential to actually be beneficial, and to maintain affordability. You happily volunteered to be the team's seed money accountant and took it upon yourself to beautifully sew a physical model of your product, bringing the blueprint that was once in our imaginations to real life. Your positivity and passion inspired everyone to work diligently and to do it for the benefit of others. So thank you, Madison. Before your pitch, I just want to say that, like Dean said in our first meeting when I confessed that I do not, in fact, have dyslexia, you all welcomed my questions so warmly, and you opened my mind to the common frustrations, the misunderstandings by teachers, and the stomach drop feeling that sometimes occurs when you're asked to do things like read aloud. You adjusted my stereotypical preconceived thoughts and showed me firsthand the world-changing power of dyslexics. So thank you for being so kind to me and for allowing me to play a small role in the creation of your awesome product. I'm so excited to hear your pitch. So thank you.
Awesome, Madison, thank you. Folks, you think we love these kids or what? Oh my gosh, that sounded like a Grammy acceptance speech on their behalf. So enough from us. let's get the real show on the road here. With extreme pride and excitement, I present to you them.
All right. Well, hi guys. I'm Abram.
Hi, I'm Archie.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Madison. We are four entrepreneurs that together we use our strengths of material reasoning, interconnected reasoning, narrative reasoning, and dynamic reasoning to create a mask that keeps people cool while preventing germs from spreading. Have you had to wear a mask recently? Really hot and sweaty wearing it? If so, we have created the perfect product for you.
The problem is people are not wearing their mask. People are not wearing their mask because it's either too hot or too uncomfortable. For example, I am in marching band and I play the baritone, and I am required to wear a mask. I am required to wear a mask during the time I am playing. And I have to practice from 8 to 12 every day. 4 hours. Yes, 4 hours. I can carry this heavy thing 97 degrees wet. It is unbearable. And I know I'm not the only one who has to suffer through this.
This product
Lucky
is
Lucky for you, we've created the Chill Mask. We've implemented a new and unique design on our mask. We've added Velcro sealed pouches to hold chill packs to keep your face cool while you're out and about. Also included are adjustable ear straps for all sizes. The Chill Mask it has thin, breathable fabric over the mouth and nose to eliminate stuffiness. Last of all, it has a metal band to help form to your face. This is the most viable mask for anyone and everyone.
Yes, also, this product is great for people. I'm just going to label a few people that have jobs. Teachers, nurses, people in the sports industry, and builders that have to wear these hats. This mask is great for people, any sort of work, because this mask is designed to keep you chilled and cool while in your working environment, which is perfect. We also had plans for a video ad that shows the real life benefits to our mask over other people's masks and original masks you can buy from anywhere. So yeah.
Over the past 6 weeks, we have worked as a team to create a mask that helps other people. Our mask is beneficial for all people. We want you to stay cool while you wear a mask. Together, we have created our product using new knowledge of innovation, negotiation, product development, customer persona, market analysis, and more. To fund our product, we have received investments in the form of seed money from our leader, Maddie, who determines how well we prepare for each meeting, if we all contributed ideas to the discussions, if we used conflict resolution skills, and if we used the tools of an entrepreneur. Based on our work, we have earned $195,500 to put into our product, the Chill Mask. So let's get rid of the hot mask and bring in the Chill Mask. Stay cool and you rule while the mask does the task.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, guys, that was so great. That was so great. Oh man. Okay, so just to recap, in case there was any sort of static or glitchiness, the group identified, right? We're all wearing these masks, right? Poor Elizabeth's got to lug that massive instrument around to band practice, right? getting all sweaty and hot and itchy underneath her mask. Well, as Abram just spelled out with a beautiful 3D design, this is a way to insert cooling mechanisms while still maintaining the, the sort of the antiviral component to it, and enabling people. I mean, honestly, here in the United States, we're having some issues around wearing masks. Maybe reducing the discomfort is one more reason that people will use it appropriately. So, as Archie was talking about, all these different industries, from teachers as people go back to school to, athletic folks who have to be out coaching in the middle of a hot day, or folks on the construction site, right? All of these individuals would benefit from this innovation. Madison, 190,000? Are you kidding? I thought you guys were going to maybe peak out at $160,000 in seed capital. And by the way, for everybody on the line, this is fictitious money. I had to break that news to them early. It's fictitious, but it is a way for them to determine how well they are using, as Madison said, those conflict resolution and those negotiation, those active listening techniques. Abram, that 3D model was outrageous, man. I mean, that's like, for anybody who has ever applied for a patent, okay, the model you've created is just about ready to apply for a patent. I mean, that's the level of expertise that their sketches often are used to apply to the patent office. That's a real deal that you've created there. That's a serious, serious deal. So I want to pause and open it up. And if you would like to comment, please just try to unmute yourself and share your thoughts, feedback, questions, monetary offers, whatever it may be for the group.
Can we see a close-up of the cooling pack or how that works?
Sure. All right, can you guys see?
I think we're unmuted now.
This is just kind of a simple design I chose for it. This is how it would look. Maybe fabric.
And in the one that, echo. In the one that I made, I just took this small ice pack that I had, and then you just insert it through the sides.
You can take it and replace them. That's good.
Then you can just put it in the freezer or the refrigerator, and you can just keep it cool.
Yeah, that's good. I was going to ask that. Thanks. Brilliant. Yeah.
Keep it going.
Come on, sorry.
Isn't it ironic? I mean, just for those of us who are, over the age of 25 years old, just notice how Abram just said, well, this is a basic SketchUp, as he presented a 3D rendering in a computer model of a creation. I love the assumption that this is basic. I assure you, for anybody 25 years and older, that is not basic in our world. That is like a dissertation for us. So kudos for that. Bodhi, did you have your hand raised?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh, there he is.
I just wanted to say that this is a really cool idea, and I'll definitely be getting one when they come out. So really, really cool. Great idea. And I definitely identify with the problem. So sign me up for 5 when you make them.
Nice. That, just FYI, that is my son, and so I can say to him that this is a cool product. You're getting close to the dad jokes, my friend. You just got to be careful. That was close to a dad joke. Miss Brooke, you had a thought or a comment.
Yeah, I would love to have one of these, because I find myself, and I've talked with other friends, even just going to the grocery store, by the time I'm done shopping, I have a little bit of a sweat, and I'm almost like my mask is sucking into my face and it's causing me to be hot and a little bit claustrophobic feeling, you know, because you just have it, and I feel my breathing get faster. So I feel like the concept of the cooling would help with that a lot. So I definitely would purchase this and use it, and know there's others that would. So it's a great idea, great innovation.
And
I
you know,
feel
I
you
actually just, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, go ahead.
No, I was just telling her that I feel the same because I have to suffer for 4 hours doing that.
Exactly, and I just read on a news article today that a moist mask actually compromises some of its efficacy, right? And you're breathing out 98-degree moisture into that thing, right? This is a cooling mechanism that's going to at least make the skin feel comfortable, as well as reduce the heat coming out, so there's less condensation, at least in theory. Bodhi, you have another comment.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to kind of add to that. Like, I luckily we've got this amazing place that we're borrowing from a friend up here in Maine. So there aren't a lot of people, and we can exercise. We can just run up trails, and it's a lot of fun. But we were in Cambridge recently, and we went for a workout, and we were just like we had to wear a mask. And it was really, really hard for me because I've got exercise-induced laryngeal obstruction, which is a very complicated word, but basically what it means is if I work out for a long time, like my vocal cords just seize up. And in each workout, it happens a little bit, but it's just I don't want to hit a high amount of it. And wearing the mask triggered it so quickly, I couldn't really keep going with the workout. So this would help me a lot. Plus, I also have these like really big masks, and it's got plenty of space, but it gets so hot because there's foam. So maybe you got to make a bigger mask with ice at the very tip. Just an idea. So there's something for you.
He's trying to get in on the action. Don't let him. You lock up that intellectual property. Don't let him get into this. Miss Katie.
First of all, I just want to say what a great pitch. I absolutely love it. And it's definitely something that's needed. I have a daughter who has asthma, so similar to Bodhi, the masks are really tough for her. And just going to the store like Brooke, I find myself sweating with the mask on, so it'd be nice to be cool. But my question is, how much is it?
Do they know?
No. We're debating, I'm guessing, if you guys are in on this, debating if how long it might take you. I don't want to make it too expensive to the point that people can't buy it, but I don't want to make it too cheap. The fact that it's like too, I don't know, really. Like, I don't want to be way too expensive for someone. Like, I don't want it to hit like anywhere like above 100 or above 50 or something, because that's like a bit crazy.
So
I'll give you. Really think of like a specific price.
Yeah, we haven't really thought of it yet.
So here's the
in development.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the last lesson from Old Man Dean. What we say is we are currently doing market research to determine competitive price structures. Okay, there you go. That's fancy talk for we don't know yet, but we're going to make some money, but we're not going to gouge them. Perfect. Good.
Can I add one thing, if that's okay? So the whole time we did not end up speaking on a specific price. However, the team was very mindful of using simple pieces to the mask to keep it very affordable. So even though it is kind of a simple idea, just inserting ice packs, the whole idea was to keep it affordable. So to kind of answer your question, it should be very affordable for people to buy. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
It's a bit late now.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions?
I just think they've been fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't obviously ever seen Archie working at school. He doesn't really like school that much. But him doing this, I've never, I couldn't imagine him. He's interacting and engaging as well as he has been. I mean, I haven't really been watching him doing it, but him actually sitting around and actually focusing on something for more than 5 minutes is absolutely incredible. I can't, I mean, obviously when he does sports and stuff, he loves that. But I think it's fantastic that you've managed to get something out of him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Apart from their product.
Honestly, I think this entrepreneur class taught me a lot. I really love this class, and I'm grateful to be here because it shows me a bit that I shouldn't hide the fact that I'm dyslexic, that I should express it more. And I'm thankful for that. Very thankful.
Wow. You are hired. We're going to get you out on the fundraising circuit, sister.
Yeah, I'm glad we have that on recorded. So now we can, we've got our next ad right there. So,
hey!
Yeah. Elizabeth, that means so much to me. I can't even begin to express how much those words mean to me. Thank you for saying that, because the sooner you guys realize, and to go back to Archie's father's point, the UK is, I know because my brothers were educated in the UK. The UK is, I think it's safe to say, even less supportive of students with dyslexia in the classroom, or at least it was when my brothers went through the educational system there. We have plenty of problems here in the United States, but it's actually even worse in the UK. And so for the fact, I mean, Archie has been, like I said earlier, he's just a wonderful addition. I mean, I feel like he's like the kid brother I never had already, right? Like I love just having him in this group. But what I saw was like this group and many of the students that we work with, once they are actually asked to express how they think and see the world, as opposed to how we as teachers want them to see and articulate the world, all of a sudden they realize their brains are extraordinary. Their brains have the ability to see things that other people don't. And what's so interesting is as these stories emerge about Albert Einstein or Henry Ford or Richard Branson or Charles Schwab or all of these incredibly impactful dyslexics, we recognize that the sooner they have the courage to recognize, and as Elizabeth just said, actually articulate how they see the world, the faster the world can start to pay attention and start to benefit from what we have to say. So it's I mean, this is really exciting to me to witness this transformation.
For me, honestly, I used to be, because I found out that I was dyslexic in 6th grade. So for 5 years, I never knew, and my teachers never gave me a hint on it. So when I started finding out, when I first found out, I was like, oh my God, don't tell anyone. Don't let anyone find out. I was so nervous that people were going to judge me for the fact that I was like this. But I recently was just hanging out with a couple of friends and found out that I have someone from band that is also just like me. And with you guys here, Madison, Archie, and Abram, I feel like I just made basically a new family. I really trust you all. And I'm just, God. I love this class. I'm not gonna lie, I just love it.
Elizabeth, do you hear what you just did? Do you just hear what you just did? I just got to press pause. And Mom, by the way, good luck trying to keep those tears back right now. Good luck with that. Elizabeth, what you just did, I mean, what you've given all of us, just in what you've said, is extraordinary. That goes without saying. And I think every one of your teammates would agree with what you have brought to the table. But what's so extraordinary is that you just spoke about your dyslexia and discovered somebody in your band who also has dyslexia. That person now knows that they have you to turn to. And you have just transitioned from somebody who didn't want anybody to know about your dyslexia to becoming accepting, to becoming prideful, and now becoming an ambassador. That has happened in 5.5 weeks. That's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to you too.
Thank you, but you take full credit, okay? You dyslexics need to learn how to take credit for things. You take full credit for what you've just gone through, okay? You're extraordinary. And you're a social butterfly, so you have even more capacity to spread the message.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bodhi, one last thought, and then I want to see if anybody else has got a comment before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have talked a lot today. I just wanted
like
to.
Your father. Yeah.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Like your father.
Like
yeah.
son. I just wanted to say that I totally know what you're talking about, and I've always had my dad to help me with my dyslexia, which I'm really, really grateful for. But now I can do exactly that, and I can go out and I talk about my dyslexia so openly at my school. I've had kids, not necessarily with dyslexia, but with other learning differences, come to me, and I've been able to help them overcome the difficulties and find the advantages. So I just think that it's so great, and it's such a rewarding process. And I hope if you can talk about it even more, that you'll be able to help more people. At my school, we have this thing called I think it's called affinity groups. It's been a while and I've left my school now, but we used to have this thing called infinity groups where there was a different group that you could go to or read, but there's no way I was doing that. You could go to and talk to people about something certain to you. And so there was all the different kinds of religion and all those, and there's also a neurodiversity group, and I went to that group, and it was so nice to be able to just talk to other people. And I think that this really opens that, and if you can keep a good relationship with your friend, with the people in your group, then I think it's just so good to be able to call them up and be like, hey, I'm having difficulties with this and this, and just being able to talk that out. I think it's really, really important, really, really good and really important. So I recommend keeping in touch with your group. I would like to say one last thing about the masks, if I may. I know, but may I?
Yes. Everybody's got dinner in 3 hours, so go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I'm just
quickly, I was just thinking about the condensation that my dad was talking about, and I was wondering, would you have a piece that would freeze, then put that inside a slightly different sleeve, so when this one condensates, it's just caught in the other, so that it doesn't get absorbed into the mask? Is that part of it, or is it just is it just the ice?
What it is gonna do, I think, is what my understanding is, that we're going to make it so that it doesn't leak on your skin or the mask, like the coldness of it, and that it doesn't get too cold.
Yeah, so the plan is we're going to add one layer, and then we're going to have the ice, but we're going to have to add as many layers, but not too many that it gets too heavy, but enough layers that it won't leak through and not to your face, so it doesn't freeze your cheeks or hurt you or anything.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent question.
All right, now I'll go back on mute, but thank you guys so much, and welcome to the dyslexic family. And I'm always open to chat if you can get my dad's number, because I don't have a phone yet, but if we keep pestering him, maybe I will.
This kid is obviously after my job, so so I got to keep a watchful eye on this guy. Does anybody else have any thoughts or comments?
I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
I'm Madison's dad, and I just want to thank you all for a fantastic presentation, and also the leaders for really encouraging everybody. I know Madison has been super excited for this whole time and so enjoyed the class, and that just speaks volume to the quality of the effort. So thank you again so much, and wonderful presentation.
Thanks for those thoughts. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dean, thank you, and Matt. Hey, the one thing that I wanted to bring up to the kiddos, that was really, really awesome. You guys were able to put something together with your innovation. And what I would say from my own story, I haven't been tested for dyslexia, but I think that I've got all of those challenges, or at least I did with school. And one of the things that was my experience that I think should encourage you all is you're going to work your way through school, and there's going to be things that are challenging, but there's going to be things that are great. But once you get out and you hit the workforce, you're going to find that the people that are around you, they need innovators to pioneer the way forward. The majority of the folks that are out there in the workplace right now, they're spinning unless they've got folks that can come up with creative solutions. And we're always looking for them. And I've got a lot of people that work for me, but the ones that really rise to the top and are those leaders are the ones that are thought leaders that can look into the future and provide solutions. And what you all did just now was simply amazing. I wish that I had all of you working for me, because that's an area that in my business and my competitors that we're lacking. And I think that what you all just accomplished was just nothing short of fascinating and amazing. So I just appreciate what you did. That was very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that. And oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr.
Yeah, this is Granddad. Yes, this is right. Yeah, I just want to say that the great thing about this is that rather than the rigid education system that we've got over in this country, which is dreadful, with this obsession with people going to university, taking all these courses, and if you don't do that, you're finished. Well, it's rubbish, because as you can see from what you've demonstrated here, once you leave school, you're liberated and you can do whatever you want to do. That's a wonderful, I think it's a wonderful thing. Very great. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. And I love that we had a Brit say rubbish during our presentation. I mean, like that's it's like the icing on the cake. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Mr. Jim, I saw you at.
Right. I was just wondering, what is the material made out of? Maybe I missed that in the presentation. Is it a cotton material?
I
Yeah.
think so.
So it's washable?
Yes, it is washable. We forgot to mention that, but it is.
Okay.
So when does production begin?
Yeah, Jim, I was going to say, if their response was vague on the materials, it's because it's a trade secret, sir. And until we get the,
I
the
understand
patent locked up,
right?
We can't.
Right.
I mean, we want to tell you, but we can't tell you. You
right,
understand, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This is. I mean, look, this is really extraordinary. I mean, I wanted. I mean, as Abram's father just articulated, and this is such a great segue, is that this is not, okay, this is a class, right? Okay, you're still theoretically in school, right? Okay. But what we're talking about is not about traditional education. We're talking about the 60 years of life that comes after school. Now, right now, it's a tough time, right? Getting through high school, getting into college where you can finally study what you want to study, it's a bit of a slog, right? But as Abram's father was speaking about, the moment you get out there, if you have the courage, as you all do, to articulate what you're thinking and how you see the world, every employer is going to all of a sudden hone their attention on your voice. They may not agree with you 100% of the time, but they are taking notice of the fact that you have the courage to articulate things and verbalize new perspectives. And that is, I think, the most valuable commodity you can offer. And just to summarize, and this is where we start to wrap this up. And if anybody has any last minute thoughts, please chime in and just interrupt me. That's absolutely fine. But, you know, you started by learning what an entrepreneur and innovators were. You all didn't really know what that was. Then you transitioned into understanding how entrepreneurs identify problems as opportunities in disguise. And we started going through the process of identifying and analyzing problems and using that dyslexic ingenuity to start seeing opportunities to address that problem. And you came up with this amazing solution, right? And as you alluded to during this presentation, you did a stakeholder analysis, right? Who is your competition? Who were potential partners in the field? Who was your customer persona? Who was your number one target that you were going to start to sell to at first? And then how were you going to market that? You came up with this incredible 3-dimensional design, right? That is essentially a prototype that people can feel and understand and then ask questions about material and condensation, as Bodhi was talking about, all these different things because they can now understand it. But as Madison was talking about in the very tail end of the presentation, what you have nailed, and you had this kind of coming in, I can't take any credit for it. You had the ability to adopt negotiation skills and use them instantly. You adopted conflict resolution skills and started to use them. I mean, for all of you on the line that weren't present to the classes, this didn't just happen. They didn't all just agree on this. This took all sorts of, well, have you thought of this? Well, what about that? Well, that's not going to work because of this. It was this wonderful, making of the sausage. Everyone was rolled up sleeves and thinking about different things, and it got gritty, and there were points of differences and opinions, but it was always resolved with a proactive team-based focus. That is a skill that I think every adult on this line would say is as important as almost anything you can learn in life. That ability to work as a team and to regulate your emotions as you're working into it as a team. This is vital to your success as a spouse or a partner, as a workplace person, as a friend, as a family member, as a parent, as a sibling, doesn't matter. This is vital, and you 4 happen to have this at a disproportionately high rate. So this is where I kind of wrap things up. And after doing enough of these, when I finish what I'm about to say, we usually just kind of like abruptly end this. Yes, please, Miss Elizabeth's mother.
Yes, I cannot even begin to thank you guys. It's, as you can see, it has changed her perspective completely now, where she feels, instead of being the disability that made her feel so bad in the classroom, that is now I can do something. I can. It's like I say, I don't have any words to explain how I feel, and I want to thank you guys. It's been such a tremendous opportunity for her to meet such an amazing the group of facilitators and the group, the teamwork, all the skills, the new things that she have learned. I am very, very thankful to you guys for everything.
Miss Patty, I had no idea where your daughter had her ability to melt people's hearts, but now I know where it comes from. Thank you for saying what you've said. Thank you. You just made my day.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yes. Here.
Miss Madison Senior has a couple of closing thoughts, then I'll jump on my soapbox for 30 seconds, wrap this thing up, abruptly end it, because otherwise we stare at each other and it gets emotional and awkward. So, Miss Madison.
Right. Thank you, Dean. I wanted to mention one more part of the course that was really special to me, and that was positive affirmations. So it brings me joy to think back on the first time that I asked you guys to come up with a positive affirmation to share with the group, because the responses were a little bit hesitant and unsure at first. We asked you to state your name, that you are dyslexic, and a personal strength of yours. And over the coming weeks, and with increasing confidence from each of you, I learned how some of you love animals deeply. Some of you have a natural ability to make others laugh and carry on a conversation. And some of you are insanely talented on a rugby field or in a swimming pool. The final time I asked you to share a personal strength in this way, which was this past Monday, I hardly had to ask for a volunteer. Each of you stated your name, your dyslexia, and a personal strength without skipping a beat. You shared things including a newfound gift for golfing, an interest in the intricacies of machinery, a newly developed skill set in the field of graphic design, and one of you even shared your love for hanging out with this group during our Soul Center meetings. Your pride and confidence while stating a personal positive affirmation not only is a form of self-respect, but it also sets an example for those around you, just like Dean was saying. Because taking delight in your dyslexia is a representation of your trust in the fact that dyslexia is an asset, a resource, and a treasure that not all people are given. So after this course, I encourage you to continue to create an ongoing list of the problems, troubles, nuisances, or difficulties that people around you or that you experience on a daily basis, because it is very clear that each of you has what it takes to become a real entrepreneur. So thank you for allowing me to get to know each of you over these past few weeks, and for illustrating the power of the dyslexic advantage, and for equipping me to spread that message to others. So thank you guys so very much.
Oh, Madison, thank you. Gosh, how lucky are we that we have people like Madison that volunteer to help us do what we do. Thank you. Whew. All right. Okay. Two last things, one soapbox, done. First thing is students, groups, my little dyslexic siblings, you're not going anywhere. There's two ways to stay involved with us and to carry the message. The first one is that you can become a peer mentor, which means that you sit in another class and you are like the senior member, the one who is able to say, oh, well, perhaps have you thought of this? Or, hey, I remember that when we did our class, we did this. You can now help empower the next group of kids that are coming through. Abram's sister just completed that with a class that I had this morning, and it was awesome. I think she had a really good time, both as a student and then as a peer mentor. That invitation goes to all four of you. You would be amazing, amazing peer mentors. So if you would like to do that, please let us know. The second thing is that we're going to send an invitation out to all of your parents to sign up for the NoticeAbility Facebook page for alumni. You're now graduates of our entrepreneurship class. You can now get involved. Like, we have researchers that come, and literally a woman from the UK said, I am a designer, an interior like construction designer, and I want to speak to students so I can create the best classroom for students with dyslexia. And I said, oh, I got some rock stars for you. And they got on a Zoom and they gave this graduate student all this information. We have cool opportunities that present themselves. And if you'd like to, you are experts in this field. We can present those opportunities to you if you're interested. The last bit of housekeeping is, and you guys have probably all done this because you're so great, you've probably done that post survey. Thank you. And if you haven't, please do. It really, really means a lot to us as an organization. So this is where we wrap it up. And I'm going to say to you something with 100% sincerity. You have minds that have the capacity to think of amazing things like the one you just presented, but that is the tip of the iceberg. Your capacity, your ability, your intellectual perspective is so valuable that you owe it not only to yourselves, but to society at large to continue to understand that the more you speak about how you think, the more people will be positively impacted. I spent 20 years believing that because of my dyslexia and the challenges of reading, that I didn't have the right to speak. I talk so much now because I spent 20 years silent. Some of you are like, I wish he was there. I wish I was part of that, because boy, can this guy talk. I know. You have the ability at your age to start that trajectory so much younger than I was, okay? And the world desperately needs you. All of the non-dyslexics that have been running the world cannot figure out the problems that we are facing. We need you. You are natural problem solvers to attack these problems and find the solutions. Our world needs it. If you do it for yourself, that's great, but also do it because our society needs you. Feels like a big burden. Well, yeah, you've been given a gift. With great capacity comes great responsibility, right? Get through school and then change the world, okay? You got to get through school. But once you do, just remember that you have the capacity to be individuals that change the way we operate. So stay in touch. Don't forget us when you're big. Remember the little people, okay? I'm blown away by you. I'm so grateful that you have become a part of my life. I say, when all of this pandemic gets resolved, I say we all go over and learn rugby from Archie. Not a bad idea, right? International travel. He can try to explain cricket to us. We won't know what he's talking about. That's okay. We'll nod and pretend like we do. But we're a family. We are a family. And I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you to parents, grandparents, friends, family, and to you guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm just going to end it. Bye, everybody. Stay safe.